You who are weary, you who carry shame like chains, you who feel too far gone, too stained, too shattered. Listen now. You have not slipped through my fingers. You have not outsinned my grace. You have not traveled beyond the reach of my arms. I am the author, and I do not close the book until redemption has the final word. I do not discard what I have made. I do not leave what I have chosen. I redeem. I restore. I rebuild. I renew with compassion, not with condemnation. I breathe life into what the world has left for dead, and I call back what others gave up on. Today, I speak directly to your heart, not through thunder or fire, but through a still, present whisper. I redeem you today, not tomorrow, not when you're more disciplined, not when you're more deserving, but today, right now, as you are. My grace does not wait for perfection. It meets you in the process. My child, I saw your beginning before you took your first breath. I saw the cracks forming, the wounds deepening, the lies growing louder. I saw the heaviness in your steps, the moments you wanted to give up, the times you thought no one saw or cared. I saw how the world taught you to hide, to survive, to pretend. I saw how rejection shaped your choices and fear muffled your prayers. And still, I stayed. I watched every fall, not in anger, but in love. I heard every word spoken against you and every word you spoke against yourself. I felt every silent cry and every unseen ache. I never stopped reaching. I never stopped defending you in the silence. I never stopped hoping for the moment you would turn back toward me. I've been walking beside you in the wilderness, waiting for you to look up, to realize that I was never absent. I carried you when you had no strength to crawl. I shielded you from battles you never even knew were coming. And now here we are, in this sacred moment, where my mercy meets your mess. This is not just a word. It is a rescue. It is a return. It is the beginning of restoration. It is the breaking of old chains and the rebuilding of sacred altars. The door is open, the light is on, the table is set, and I am calling you home. Chapter 1. The price has been paid. You keep trying to earn what has already been bought. You think your guilt disqualifies you, but it is your guilt that qualifies you for grace. You believe that if you do enough, suffer enough, or clean yourself up enough, then maybe you'll be acceptable. But listen closely. My son did not die for the perfect. He died for the lost, the broken, the rebel, the wanderer. He died for the one who has no strength left to pretend. He died for you. I watched him carry your sin on his back. I watched him choose the nails, choose the cross, choose the pain, because he chose you. With every lash, he thought of your healing. With every step to Calvary, he thought of your return. The debt was real and so was the payment. But now the books are cleared. The record is erased. The chains are broken. The veil is torn. The cost was high, but it has been paid in full. There is no outstanding balance. There is nothing left to prove. Stop punishing yourself. Stop reliving what I've already redeemed. Stop living in the courtroom when I've already declared you free. Stop waking up each day believing you must earn back my love. My son said, "It is finished," not "it is postponed." He didn't say, "It is almost done." He said, "The work is complete. What I have forgiven, I have forgotten. What I have covered, I will not uncover. You do not need to beg me to love you. I already do. You do not need to convince me to stay. I never left. I do not turn my back on those I have called. I do not revoke my promises when you stumble. I do not withhold my grace when you hesitate. My love is not a contract. It is a covenant sealed by the blood of my Son. You are no longer standing trial. The verdict has been declared. righteous, forgiven, redeemed. The accuser may still whisper, but I have silenced his claim. When he brings up your past, remind him of the cross. When he points to your weakness, point to my strength. I have not chosen you because you are flawless. I have chosen you because I love you. Not once, not sometimes, always. Live as if you are free, because you are. Walk as if you are redeemed, because you are. Speak with the confidence of one who has been claimed by grace. Breathe like someone who knows the weight of shame has been lifted. Let my declaration be louder than your doubt. Let my sacrifice silence the voice of shame. Stop rehearsing your guilt and start remembering my grace. My mercy is not a fragile thread, it is a mighty river. It does not trickle, it flows. You are no longer defined by what you did, but by what He did. Your identity is not rooted in your scars, but in His. The cross is your receipt that the price has been paid. The tomb is your proof that death was defeated. The resurrection is your guarantee that nothing will ever separate you from my love again. This is not fragile forgiveness. This is eternal redemption. This is your new beginning. It is not just a change in direction, it is a transformation of identity. Step into it. Trust it. Live like it's true, because it is. Chapter 2. I will use what tried to destroy you. The enemy thought he could break you. He thought the betrayal would poison you. He thought the failure would bury you. He watched for the moment your heart would give out under the weight of despair. He celebrated when you doubted your worth. But I have always been one step ahead. I have always had a plan to bring you through, not just barely surviving, but radiantly alive. What was meant to destroy you is what I will use to deliver you. What the enemy intended as a weapon, I am reshaping into a tool of purpose. Every scar tells a story of survival. Every tear is counted. Every sleepless night, every whispered prayer, every breathless moment of fear, I have held them all in my hand. Every shattered piece is known to me, and I do not waste pain. The very wound that once bled shame will become the place where others find healing. The very lie that once paralyzed you will become the truth that sets someone else free. The weight that once crushed you will become the very platform on which you will stand and declare my faithfulness. I take what is broken and turn it into testimony. I take ashes and bring beauty. I take endings and create new beginnings. I take silence and shape it into songs of praise. I use what others discard and raise it into something glorious. I don't just clean what's dirty, I consecrate it. I do not patch the broken, I make all things new. You thought it was over, but I was just beginning. What you buried in grief, I am unearthing in glory. The grave was never the finale. The cross was not a period. It was a comma, a turning point. The resurrection was not the end. It was the ignition of eternal restoration. Your storm did not surprise me. Your darkness did not scare me. Your wounds did not repel me. I step into chaos and create order. I step into graves and call out life. I walk into rooms heavy with sorrow and fill them with joy. I enter dry deserts and make rivers flow. I do not abandon my creation. I redeem it. There is no weapon that can prosper against what I redeem. What I touch, I transform. What I claim, I restore. What I restore, I elevate. You think your story is a cautionary tale. You think your life is a collection of mistakes to be buried in silence, a script written in failure and regret. But I am turning it into a victory anthem, a melody that sings of mercy louder than shame. I am turning the chapter of sorrow into one of triumph. Your wounds will not end your story. They will mark the place my glory begins. You will speak again, with wisdom refined in the fire. You will rise again, with purpose shaped by grace. You will shine again, with light that darkness cannot extinguish. Not because you are strong, but because I am. I am the strength in your weakness, the anchor in your storm, the fire in your soul, and I live in you. The light that lifts you is not your own, but it will burn bright enough to guide others home. You will be a lighthouse on the shores of despair, a beacon for the weary, a testimony that I redeem even the most shattered stories. Trust me, I'm not finished with you yet. Chapter 3. Return to me with your whole heart. You've wandered. You've withheld pieces of yourself. You've allowed fear and shame to keep you from my presence. You've tiptoed around my love, unsure if I would still want you after all that you've done, after all the times you pulled away. But I want you, not just the cleaned-up version of you. I want the real you, the you that cries in secret, the you that wrestles with doubt, the you that still remembers the moment everything fell apart. I want all of you. I don't need you to have all the answers. I just need you to come home. Return to me with your heart, not with performance, not with empty promises, but with honesty. I want the prayers that stutter, the ones that come through tears. I want the questions, the confessions, the things you're scared to speak aloud. Tear down the walls you built to protect yourself. They were never meant to last. They kept you safe for a time, but now they're keeping you from healing. You don't have to pretend anymore. I already see it all, and I still choose you. I always have. I'm not waiting for a version of you that doesn't exist. I'm waiting for the real you to let me in. When you come to me in truth, I come to you with grace. When you confess, I cover. When you fall, I catch. When you break, I rebuild. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for surrender. The world taught you to hide your weakness. I ask you to bring it to me. The world made you earn love through performance. I give it freely, without measure. My love doesn't need your mask. It needs your truth. Let your brokenness be your bridge. Let your need become your doorway. The weight you carry isn't too heavy for me. The secrets you've hidden aren't too dark for my light. I am not repelled by your mess. I am moved by it. I draw near to the crushed in spirit. I wrap my presence around the undone and remind them that they are still mine. I do not love you less because of your struggles. I draw nearer. I do not require a fixed heart. I ask for an open one. I don't need your strength to redeem you. I need your yes. That's all. Just your yes. Yes to my love. Yes to my healing. Yes to a new story written in grace. Come to me. Bring your whole heart, even the parts you've buried under years of silence and shame. Bring the memories you tried to erase. Bring the fears you never dared to speak. Bring the questions, the anger, the hopes you stopped praying for. I want it all. I want the you that you've been afraid to be. I will not break it. I will not shame it. I will not reject you. I will take your heart, trembling and torn, and I will hold it with tenderness, like a precious treasure hidden beneath years of dust and pain. I will cradle every fractured corner, every scarred surface, and I will not pull away. I will breathe my spirit into it, not just gently, but fully, with a rushing wind that clears out sorrow and breathes in strength. I will restore what the world tried to destroy, piece by piece, memory by memory, hope by buried hope. I will heal what trauma tried to distort, redeem what fear tried to erase, and cleanse what sin tried to stain. I will make it new, not just better, but brand new, not refurbished, reborn. I will take what was numb and awaken it. I will take what was calloused and soften it. I will give you a heart of flesh in place of stone, one that feels again, hopes again, trusts again, worships again. A heart that doesn't fear love or shrink from joy. One that beats in rhythm with my spirit and burns with the fire of my presence. I will write my name across the places where pain used to speak, where anxiety once echoed, where regret once ruled, where grief once haunted. Where fear had a throne, I will establish peace. Where despair echoed loud, I will plant joy that sings quietly but never fades, a joy that lingers even in the night because it is rooted in me. Come home. I'm waiting, not impatiently, but lovingly. I have stood at the gate every day watching for your return, not to scold you but to run to you, to clothe you with honor, to celebrate your life with music and mercy, not with judgment but with joy, overflowing joy. I have prepared a place not just for your soul, but for your healing, your purpose, your fullness, a seat at my table, a robe for your shoulders, a ring for your hand. Come home to me. Let this be your return. Let this be the beginning of everything new. Chapter 4. You are not what you've done. You are who I say you are. The enemy calls you by your sin. I call you by your name. He wants to define you by the darkest chapter of your story. I define you by the light I placed in you before the world ever whispered a word. You are not your shame. You are not your past. You are not the worst thing you've done. You are the one I formed in secret and called into purpose before anyone ever spoke over you. I see beyond the labels. I see the heart I created, the destiny I designed, the goodness I placed within you when I called you mine. You've been labeled, shamed, reduced to your worst decisions. People judged you by a single mistake. The world tried to keep you there, tried to convince you that you'll never be more than what happened. But I do not define you by your failures. I define you by my love. I define you by the price I paid to bring you back. I knit you together before the world could stain you. I wove you with intention, with vision, with eternal purpose. I breathed destiny into you before mistakes tried to silence it. And that destiny is still alive. Your past does not have the authority to rename you. It does not hold the pen anymore. I do. I write your story in grace, not in guilt. I record your name in love, not in shame. And I call you redeemed. I call you chosen. I call you son. I call you daughter. I call you forgiven. I call you mine. You are not the addict. You are not the liar. You are not the mistake. You are not unworthy. You are not beyond repair. You are not defined by your wounds. You are not the sum of your regrets. You are my beloved. You are the one I left the 99 to rescue. You are the one I've waited for with arms wide open. You are the one I rejoiced over with singing when you turned back toward me. You are the one whose name is written on my hands, not in pencil but in permanence. You are the treasure I refuse to lose. You are not forgotten in the crowd. You are known by name, etched into eternity with my love. My eyes have never looked away from you. The enemy shouts accusations. I speak identity. He broadcasts your worst days. I proclaim your eternal value. His voice is loud, but mine is louder still. He wants you to drown in what you did. I want you to stand in who you are. He points to your scars. I point to your healing. He drags up old evidence. I present the blood of my son. He wants you to remember your failures. I want you to remember my faithfulness. I want you to remember that I never gave up on you. I am rewriting the story with truth. I am erasing the lies with the ink of my mercy. You are not a project to be fixed. You are a child to be loved. You are not a case to be managed. You are a masterpiece to be unveiled. You are not damaged goods. You are a vessel of glory. You are not forgotten. You are held in the palm of my hand, safely and securely. You are not barely accepted. You are deeply loved. You are not tolerated. You are celebrated. You are not just welcomed. You are honored. You are my joy, not my obligation. Let me be louder than the lies. Let my word override your wounds. Let my promises drown out your past. Let my truth crush the noise of shame. Let my voice be the anchor when old shame tries to resurface. You are who I say you are, and I say you are mine, entirely mine, always mine. You are not only loved, you are wanted, not only found, but cherished, not only redeemed, but restored to royal standing. You wear the robes of righteousness. You carry the inheritance of grace. You are seated at my table, not as a guest, but as family. This is your identity, not borrowed, but given, not temporary, but eternal. Walk in it, believe it. Let it shape the way you see yourself, because it's how I've always seen you. Nothing has changed my mind about you. Chapter 5. Today is the day of redemption. Do not wait for a better moment. This is the moment. Do not wait to feel worthy. My love makes you worthy. Do not wait until you have it all together. Come to me now as you are. Come with your hesitation. Come with your hurt. Come with your history. Because today, yes, today, I redeem you. Not once you've proven something, not when others approve, not after time has passed. Today is holy ground because it's the ground on which I meet you. My mercy is new with the morning. My grace is not delayed. My hand is not too short to save. My reach is longer than your wandering. My embrace is wider than your past. My patience is deeper than your doubt. I am not waiting on your perfection. I am waiting on your permission. I don't need you to have a script. I just want your yes. I want your whisper when you think you have nothing left to offer. Say yes. Say yes to being loved again. Say yes to being held again. Say yes to walking with me again. Say yes to being known and still chosen. Say yes to a life shaped by peace and purpose instead of fear and guilt. Say yes to healing. Say yes to growth. Say yes to becoming all that I dreamed over you when I knit you together in your mother's womb. I will walk you out of the pit, step by step, breath by breath. When your legs tremble, I will hold you. When your courage falters, I will remind you who you are. I will teach you how to breathe again, not through shallow survival, but through deep, soul-filling presence. I will calm your mind and restore your soul. I will hold you steady as you rebuild, not rushed, not alone, but with the assurance that every brick is being laid by my hand. Redemption does not erase your past. It transforms it into testimony. It does not skip the pain. It heals through it, rewriting every chapter with purpose. It does not offer escape. It offers resurrection, where what once died now lives again in power and purpose. What you thought would be your ruin becomes your rising. I redeem you today, not because you deserve it, but because I delight in it. I delight in bringing beauty out of the ashes. I delight in proving the enemy wrong, in silencing his lies with my truth. I delight in restoring what was stolen, rebuilding what was abandoned, and reclaiming what you thought was lost forever. I find purpose in your pain, miracles in your mess, and glory in your greatest weakness. I delight in setting captives free, not with conditions but with compassion, not with reluctance, but with rejoicing. I do not free you to wander. I free you to walk with me. I do not rescue you to shame you. I rescue you to raise you. I rejoice in taking the forgotten and calling them my own. I rejoice in giving dignity where the world gave labels. I rejoice in calling forth the unseen gifts in your soul, the ones the world overlooked and even you have buried. I find joy in giving you joy again, the kind of joy that doesn't depend on circumstances but flows from the certainty that you are mine. Joy that sustains you when the night is long. Joy that returns your laughter. Joy that restores your voice. My joy is not fragile, it is fire. So don't look back in shame. Shame is a liar with no claim on you. It may shout from the shadows, but I speak from the throne. It will whisper doubt and disguise it as truth, but I have the final word. And I say you are free. I say you are cleansed. I say you are chosen. I say you are not what happened to you. You are what I am doing in you now. Regret has no home in the life I'm building with you. It cannot live where grace reigns, because grace is a fire that consumes shame and gives birth to newness. Let regret go. Let the memories of what could have been make room for what still can be. Let shame dissolve in the light of my love. Love that sees everything and still holds you close. Look up in hope. Hope is my banner over you. Hope is not a fragile thread barely holding you together. It is a rope tied to eternity, a lifeline I placed in your hand. Hope is not a wish. It is a weapon forged in faith and strengthened by my promises. My love is the covering that cannot be torn, the shelter that cannot be shaken, the promise that will not fail. It stands when everything else falls. It surrounds you when the voices of fear grow loud. My love is the anthem of your freedom, the heartbeat of your future. Your Redeemer lives, and He's calling your name, not with disappointment, but with delight, not with judgment, but with joy, not with reluctance, but with open arms. I am not pacing with impatience. I am running with celebration. I do not wait on the porch. I race to meet you on the road. Come, rise, live. Shake the dust off your dreams. Lift your head from the sorrow. Step into the life I've written for you. A life covered in mercy, grounded in truth, and fueled by grace. A life not limited by what you lost, but empowered by what I give. Your redemption story begins again today, and it begins with me, walking beside you every step of the way. Chapter 6. I knew you would fall, and I still chose you. Before you made the mistake, I made the way. Before you fell, I prepared the arms that would catch you. I anticipated every stumble, every wound, every tear. I am not surprised by your weakness. I am not shaken by your failures. I am the God who sees the end from the beginning, and I still chose you. I knew what you would wrestle with. I knew what you would walk through. I knew the weight you would carry, the times you would want to give up, the seasons you would feel lost. And still, I called you mine. I didn't flinch when I saw the whole of your story. I embraced it. I didn't hesitate when I saw your scars. I held out my hands to heal them. Nothing about your fall shocked me. It was already folded into the redemption I planned for you. You think your fall changed everything, but it only revealed what I already wanted to redeem. You think your failure was final, but it was just a doorway for my mercy. The cracks only made more room for my light. The breaking only made you softer for grace. When you ran, I pursued. When you broke, I gathered the pieces. When you doubted, I stayed constant. My choice to love you was never based on your perfection. It was rooted in my promise. My covenant with you does not break under pressure. I do not abandon my children in their confusion. I do not withdraw my call when you lose your way. I press in even closer. I don't love some future version of you. I love you now. I loved you when you were hiding. I loved you when you were angry. I loved you when you were ashamed. I loved you at your lowest moment, and I never left. My love does not wait for performance. It flows out of my nature, and my nature is unchanging. My love is not calculated or conditional. It is constant. I knew you would fall, and I still chose you. I chose you knowing every battle, every delay, every denial. I chose you when you couldn't even choose yourself. And I chose to redeem it all, not just the visible parts, but the hidden wounds and the unspoken fears. Let this truth be louder than your regret. I have not changed my mind about you. I do not revoke what I have spoken. I do not erase what I have promised. My grace doesn't run dry. My mercy does not wear thin. My intentions toward you are steady even when your confidence wavers. I am not finished with your story, not even close. I haven't overlooked you. I haven't dismissed you. You may feel forgotten, but I have carved you into the palm of my hand. Your name is inscribed where I can never miss it. What you see as the end, I see as the beginning of something holy. I see the soil where resurrection takes root. I write new chapters from broken paragraphs, and I breathe poetry into the lines you thought were too painful to read aloud. Don't let shame keep you from returning. Don't let fear trick you into silence. You were never expected to be flawless. You were only expected to be honest. You don't have to have it all together. You only have to turn around. You only have to whisper my name. I am already running toward you, arms wide open. Return to me. Return with your questions, with your confusion, with your heartbreak. I will restore the years the enemy stole, the seasons that felt wasted, the moments stolen by lies, the tears cried in secret. I will redeem what sin tried to destroy, your joy, your purpose, your voice. I will rewrite the parts you thought were too damaged to matter, the chapters you tried to skip, the lines you thought were ruined beyond repair. I will rebuild with stronger stones and deeper roots, roots that hold through storms, foundations that do not shake. I will make your scars into signs of strength. They will not be marks of shame, but markers of grace. What once made you hide will become what helps others find hope. You don't have to start over. You only have to start again. You don't have to retrace every step. You just have to take the next one with me. You don't have to undo the past. You only need to surrender the present. You don't have to go backward. You just have to move forward with me. Each step you take, no matter how small or slow, is a victory when it's in my direction. And I will be with you every step, not as a distant observer, not as a silent bystander, but as a faithful shepherd who guides you gently, a constant father who upholds you tenderly, a healing friend who knows the wounds you don't speak aloud. I will remind you of who you are when the world tries to make you forget. I will lift your head when your burdens push it down. I will protect the seeds of growth within you until they break through the surface and bloom. I never stopped choosing you. In your confusion, I chose you. In your silence, I chose you. In your rebellion, I chose you. I never stopped loving you. Not for one heartbeat, not for one breath, not when you ran, not when you wept, not when you turned your back. I loved you through it all, and I never stopped believing in the purpose I placed inside you. That purpose still burns, quiet but fierce, waiting to be fanned back to life. That light still shines, sometimes dimmed by doubt, but never extinguished. You are mine, and I am not letting go. I never have, and I never will. Even if you let go of me, I will still hold on to you. Even if your grip falters, my grip is unshakable.
I do not abandon what I created. I do not forsake the one I redeemed. You are still part of my plan. You are still covered by my grace, and I am still walking with you until the end and beyond.
Chapter 7. Nothing is wasted in my hands. You wonder if it was all for nothing, the pain, the delay, the detour. You wonder if any of it held purpose, if any part of it can be redeemed. But I tell you now, nothing is wasted in my hands. Not the tears you cried alone, not the nights you questioned your worth, not the moments you fell short of your own expectations, not even the prayers you thought went unanswered. I am not a God who discards brokenness. I am the God who transforms it. I gather every piece, every second, every sorrow, and I make it holy. I mold it into something beautiful, something meaningful, something that tells the world who I am. Even what you regret, I can redeem. Even what you buried, I can resurrect. Even what you threw away in shame, I have kept and will use for glory. The things you try to forget, I use as foundations for your future. The years you call wasted, I call training ground. The weakness you despise, I call a doorway to dependence. The struggle you think disqualifies you is the very place where my power is perfected. What you see as setbacks, I see as sacred preparation. I am not just repairing what was broken. I am refashioning it into something greater than before. You didn't walk through the fire for no reason. You didn't survive the storm just to be silent. Every trial shaped you. Every pressure refined you. Every silence deepened your roots. Every night strengthened your endurance. And now, every scar tells a story, not of defeat, but of deliverance, not of shame, but of survival, not of pain, but of purpose. You are stronger than you think, because I was strengthening you when you didn't even realize I was there. I was the hand you didn't see, the whisper in the dark, the calm beneath the chaos. Stop looking at your journey with resentment. Start looking at it with reverence. Every part of it mattered. I was there in the detours. I was there in the delays. I was there when you thought you were alone. I was doing deep work in places you didn't see. I was planting seeds in the dark that are only now beginning to sprout. I was writing chapters that would one day become someone else's survival guide. Nothing is random in my plan. Nothing is wasted in my will. What was meant to harm you, I will use to lift you. What was meant to break you, I will use to bless others through you. I turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones, burdens into bridges, and valleys into victory grounds. So bring me the memories you want to erase. Bring me the chapters you skip in your mind. Bring me the guilt you can't shake and the moments that make you wince. I will not mock your story. I will magnify my glory through it. I will use the mess to show the world my mercy. I will take what tried to silence you and turn it into your song. I will take what felt like the end and write resurrection into its lines. You are not behind. You are not broken beyond use. You are not too late or too lost. You are a vessel being shaped for something eternal. And everything in your life, yes, everything, is working together for your good in my hands. Nothing is beyond redemption. Nothing is wasted, not when you place it in my hands. Chapter 8. I am still writing your story. You think it's too late, that too much time has passed, that too many doors have closed, that the page has turned on possibility. But I want you to know, your story is not finished. I am still writing it. I am the author who never tires, who never forgets, who never skips over a single moment of your life. And every chapter yet to come is covered in grace, drenched in mercy, and filled with purpose. Not one word I write is empty. Not one sentence is without meaning. Every paragraph is threaded with my love. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being refined, prepared, positioned. Even in the silence I speak, even in stillness, I move. When it feels like nothing is changing, I am working beneath the surface. When it feels like you've been paused, I'm perfecting the pace of your journey. I am the author who never puts down the pen. Even when you thought it was over, I was outlining the next chapter. Even when you thought you'd been disqualified, I was preparing a greater display of my faithfulness through your life. I see more than you can imagine. I know the ending, and I write with the victory already in view. Do not judge the whole story by the page you're on. This chapter might feel dark, but it is not the conclusion. The tension you feel is not a sign of failure. It is the sign of growth. The pain you're processing is not punishment. It is pruning. I prune what I love to make room for abundance. I do not waste the slow seasons. I do not abandon what I've begun. My word says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." And I never start what I do not intend to finish. Your process is proof of my promise. What feels like a pause is actually the turning of a divine page. Trust me with your unfinished places. Trust me with your unwritten pages. You want resolution, but I want transformation. You want clarity, but I want character. And when the time is right, I will reveal what you could not yet understand. You will see how I wove together every detail. Until then, walk with me page by page, moment by moment. You don't need to know the ending to trust the author. You only need to know that I am good, and I am with you. So don't close the book on your life. Don't close your heart to new beginnings. Don't give up in the middle of the chapter. I am still writing. I am still creating. I am still redeeming every paragraph, rewriting every line the enemy tried to cross out. And what I write is good. What I write is redemptive. What I write brings beauty from ashes, life from death, peace from chaos. And I have already written the final word. You are mine. You are redeemed. You are being made new. Every day, every breath, every decision is a sentence in a sacred story, crafted by my hand, bound in my grace, and sealed with my love. Chapter 9. I am your peace in the waiting. You long for answers. You ache for clarity. You pray for movement where there seems to be stillness. But I want you to know that peace is not found in the outcome. It is found in me. I do not ask you to understand everything. I ask you to trust me with everything. In the waiting, I am not withholding. I am working. I am shaping not just what you will walk into, but who you will be when you arrive. You think silence means I am distant, but silence is not absence. It is invitation. It is where I speak in whispers that can only be heard when the noise of the world fades. The quiet seasons are not punishment. They are preparation. The delay is not denial. It is design. I'm preparing you for what I've prepared for you. And in that preparation, I am your peace. Let me be enough before the breakthrough. Let me comfort you before the circumstance changes. Let my word hold you steadier than any outcome. The waiting is not wasted when it is filled with worship. The in-between is not empty when it is filled with my presence. I have not forgotten you. I have not overlooked you. I have not changed my mind. I am in the waiting with you, shaping, refining, anchoring you in a peace that passes understanding. Breathe here, rest here. Even now there is purpose. Even now there is provision. Even now there is progress. I am not the God of only what's next. I am the God of what is now. And right now, I give you peace. Chapter 10. You are redeemed forever. This is the final word. You are redeemed. Not for a moment, not until the next failure, not temporarily, but forever. My redemption is not fragile. It is not easily lost. It is not conditional on your performance. It is sealed by my blood and secured by my word. You were bought with a price, the highest one. I did not hesitate. I did not bargain. I gave everything because you were worth everything to me. And now, your value is not determined by what you do, but by what I did. Your identity is not shaped by what you've endured, but by what I've declared. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your shame. You are mine, and you are redeemed. This redemption reaches to every corner of your life. Every thought, every memory, every part of your story now falls under grace. You walk in freedom not because you've earned it, but because I gave it. You rise not because you've proven yourself, but because I raised you. You stand righteous not by your own works, but by my mercy. So walk boldly, love deeply, live fully, not afraid of falling, but confident in rising. My redemption is your anchor. My spirit is your guide. My presence is your home. You are not trying to earn your way back. You are walking forward in the gift that can never be taken away. You are redeemed, and I call that redemption very good.